Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to carry. It's Tuesday. That means we'll have good old Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. At the end of the show, we'll have some of our final interviews from the Steve Spurrier Coaches Award banquet that you're really going to like these. We saved some of the best for last, so make sure you tune in for that. Gators host the semis tonight in baseball. Should be a good one. I think Florida State is undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. And then a lot of basketball tournaments. You had some March Madness happen last night. James Madison advances, as well does Sanford. Two really good basketball teams. And then a lot of the big tournaments crank up tomorrow. The Big East tournament and ACC crank up today. Let's go to the Titan More Highline, and we're joined by our good friend, old Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. Good morning, Buddy. How you doing?
Good morning, Shane. Good to talk to you again last night. We had an interesting conversation, debate, whatever, about quarterbacks and how you can judge them and how you feel about them. But I wanted to say to you, first of all, that you're right. Florida does take FSU on tonight. And I looked it up. I couldn't believe that Florida trails this series by 4 games overall. Amazing what this program's been. It's 6 o'clock first pitch at Condren. We'll see what happens. The Gators need a win. It's a first of 3 in this series. So it's always good to watch these two teams play baseball at a high level. But Sully needs to get his pitching straightened out. Shane?
Yeah, speaking of that, I wanted to get to a text that came in yesterday regarding Gator baseball. It's somewhat long, but it's from 941 on the Titan More text line. If you want to ever text that, it's 352-353-7465. We're regarding Jack Caglione. You know, he's 2-0. He's pitched really well in his outings. And the gentleman, 941, I don't know his name, that's what he goes by, 941, said that he saw on a website, people were talking about why not move Jack to day 1, you know, the Friday night starter, because he has experience. And this gentleman, whoever on the website, said the other guy tried to say the reason he's not our number 1 is because after pitching 6 or 7 innings on a Friday night, he would be too stiff to DH on Saturday and play first base on Sunday. Please tell me you agree a 20-year-old kid can pitch 6 innings one night and DH the next. I think this is silly to not have Cags be our number 1. He's clearly head and shoulders our number 1
He's the whole pitching staff right now.
I do agree with that, but what's strange is I'm going to hopefully have Jeff Cardozo on later this week probably Friday, before we crank up SEC play against the Aggies. I think the Aggies are undefeated as well. I think there's 2 undefeated teams left in all of America in baseball, and I think they're Florida State and Texas A&M. I could be wrong. I was wrong on some stuff yesterday. But anyway, Cardozo was talking about how he spoke with Brad Wilkerson about this, and Wilkerson basically told him that, you know, because he's kind of that Jack Caglione player. Yeah. Played the field, hit, all that kind of stuff. Said that the reason he never pitched on Friday night was because of fatigue. And I guess, I mean, when a guy who played in the majors for a long time, probably the greatest Gator baseball player, you know, says that, I guess it's true. But I kind of agree with 941. I mean, Jack is a specimen. I believe he could pitch on Friday night and still play at a high level on Saturday and Sunday. Your thoughts on that, buddy?
Well, I'm not as familiar as I was when I played the game at Florida for a year and a half. So back when they had baseballs with no stitches on them. No, seriously, it is a different game, and there is a lot of I got two-way player today, a guy who pitches in place, a rarity. I can see why that might be an issue. It depends on the individual. I don't know. I would think he'd be able to go all 3, but maybe over a season of how many games? they play as many baseball games as a AAA team, maybe it does wear you down. And but I'll tell you one thing right now, he's about what they got. They ought to start him every game. I'm not, look, I'm not being hypercritical. And I know Sully always rights his ship at the end. He worries about the tournaments. He worries about when spring comes around, et cetera. And they start getting to the heart of the SEC schedule. But and he knows what he's doing. Who am I to tell Sully? But it does seem like there's more there. I'm also not happy with losing games. I'm sorry. We had this discussion last night. You don't agree with me. To St. Mary's. I know it's different in baseball than it is in football. It's different in basketball, but I do think it seems to me losing too many of those other games. I like you said, there are what, 250 teams? Not to be undefeated, but don't lose those games to teams that have no business losing to. So that bothers me. So Caglione, I guess you're right. I guess he's big enough, strong enough guy. He can go. Let him play.
Yeah, but to argue with that statement, buddy, the team last year, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but they played for the national title and they lost to teams that were not very good.
I know.
The national championship team lost to teams. I mean, it just happens. Softball lost last night. Hit the ball hard at times, right at people. But as I say, that's baseball. But they win the series. Your goal in the SEC is to win every series. And if they do that, we'll be fine. But
some men on, women on a couple of times and scoring in some sharp line drives. And Alabama made the plays on defense, and a couple of times Florida didn't. And you're right. I mean, that softball team, I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, I'm not either. We got a another text on the Titan MR text line that came in last night from Jonathan in Shreveport. He said, "Buddy, I would love your thoughts on the Oscars." I don't know if I've ever had anybody ask about that on this program.
How about that?
I did not watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. But the last movie I saw in a movie theater?
Probably gone with the wind, right?
No, it's not been that long. But I don't even know how long ago it was. But it was when the Elvis movie came out.
Oh my gosh!
That's the last time I paid for a ticket and walked into a movie.
Well, I did watch the Oscars, and I have over the years with my spouse watched them. We watched them. We watched them in the night. I'm a movie fan. I had not seen a lot of those movies. I had not seen American Fiction, so I can't tell you. That's a good thing about the Oscars. It makes you want to go and see them. The Bradley Cooper film Maestro I watched. That was really a controversial, but the life story of Leonard Bernstein was controversial. But I thought Jimmy Kimmel was funny. He usually is. I thought obviously music is great. I thought they did a good job. It was the largest audience they've had since post-pandemic. They lost a lot of their audience, and so it's coming back. So, hey, the movies are the movies. Oscars is a show place. It's the place you go to get the highest honor in what you do. And I can do with a few less foreign films, but hey, that's what it is. So I can't tell you to evaluate what the best movies were because I haven't seen them. But I enjoy the Oscars, and it's because it was what it is. It's a wonderful tribute to the great filmmakers and actors and directors and what have you. So I enjoy the Oscars, yes.
Radware is a family-owned business that prides itself in excellent customer service while providing quality and affordable promotional products and customized apparel. We got Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show on the Titan MR Hotline, courtesy of Duffield Home Improvements. All right,
hey,
buddy,
Shane, you can't see me.
Yeah.
You can't see me here, but never mind. I know they're coming. Some of the critical remarks of my background and my wallpaper. Okay, can I just say this for people to start jumping on me again tonight? My own stepson last night, he made a remark. How about this? This girly wallpaper is because I've moved my studio here in my city from the living room overlooking the bay, back to the front bedroom where I have a little more access. And it looks like a girl's room, and it was prior to this, apparently. And I promise you it will change. I've got my picture all picked out for the background. My wife has given approval of it. And when I get it up in a couple of weeks, you'll see it's a very special sketching of somebody we know well. It could be well known, maybe the most famous picture in Florida football history. So leave it at that. Give me a break. Tomorrow morning, we'll have tonight, we'll have the Bay back again. So Anyway, thank you for your critical comments. I'm doing the best I can. How to put a show on there.
All right, good stuff. All right, so buddy, let's talk about what we discussed on your program last night. Gator football, spring football. They've had 2 or 3 practices. They're off all week because of spring break. I'm going to try to get out there when they crank it back up. Have not seen a practice, but you mentioned that you think DJ Lagway could be a Heisman winner here at the University of
No, I
Florida.
didn't say that.
You said build a statue.
Yes, but you got to give me context here. This is not even close to what I said. It's not. I didn't say he could be. He could be the greatest football player of history in Florida. I didn't say that. And please don't misquote me, okay, Shane? What I said was, no. I asked you first of all. You didn't want to play the game with me. You just sort of put me down. And I was saying to you, sometimes you see a player or an athlete that's like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, love at first sight. You see something about them, you know instinctively that there's something super special about this player or coach, whatever. And I said, I have not seen him with my own eyes, but after seeing seeing him on video, Chris Spears had some really good video of this guy, and I've seen him in high school. I saw his high school stuff, all that. But seeing him there in a Gator uniform, his stature, composure, the way he carried himself, sometimes you could see something special in a player, an athlete. And do I know? Yeah, I know, because I know. I've seen enough people to know this. This guy is something really special, not just a good player, maybe not a Heisman Trophy winner, but in my mind, the future of Florida football, if they can keep him healthy. And of course, I know all the stories about having the defense and the offensive line. I'm not saying that. I tried to liken it last night to a romance, okay, if you will. I said, Shane, didn't you ever meet a girl for the first time and just fall in love? It's called love at first sight. And you laughed at me, as you always do. So my point is, I was just saying, I'm trying to say sometimes you see something and you see a player, and I mentioned, not to brag, I've seen the great ones. John Elway, I saw him right off the bat. I knew right away that guy was going to be a great player. Now, I know you don't have to be Nostradamus to figure that part out. I get it. I saw Steve Spurrier's street clothes, and I knew it was a freshman. I knew this guy was special. I could feel it. I could sense it. I could see it. I saw Tiger Woods hit a tee shot off the number 1 at Riviera at 16. And now everybody knew Tiger Woods was a phenomenon. But when I saw this guy, there was an aura about him that's special. You knew he was special. So in my lifetime, I've seen about maybe a dozen of these kind of people. And every single time I've been right, including the time I saw Shaquille O'Neal as a 17-year-old freshman at LSU. I said, I've seen the future of college basketball. And he won. So that's what I was saying. Some people think I'm nuts, whatever. That's fine. I go on. I think this guy is super special. I've got a feeling about this guy as being something amazing. Now, I'll be wrong, but I'm willing to be wrong. That's what we do on this show.
All right. So my question to you is, how much do you think he plays this year, buddy?
Every game. Yeah, they're going to have. I've read and heard. I didn't make this up. Somebody told me he's been told he'll be in every game, and a package, which he should, which is what Tebow was. For those who remember, I want to see him get in the game.
Well,
I think
I mean, all Tebow did when he was in the game was freaking run quarterback power.
I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Well, okay, so that he did. But you know what? They needed him, they got him. But don't forget the jump pass, okay? That wasn't quarterback, because he did run quarterback power.
Did they run the jump pass when he was a true freshman? I don't think they did.
Yes, it's his first touchdown pass. Yes.
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
I thought that was once he became the starter, they ran the jump pass.
No, that's Tate Casey. I mean, he'll tell you.
I bet somebody will let us know if Tebow threw a jump pass for a touchdown when he was a true freshman.
It was
somebody's going to look that
up. First touchdown pass of his career. Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is neither here nor there about it. The fact is, there's a sense about it when you see something and you hear something, or maybe I don't know what it is. Something tells you, your innate sensibilities tell you this guy is special, and they're more than just a good player and a good passer. He's a special player along the lines of the great ones in Florida.
Brian wants to know, do you think Urban Meyer will ever play again? This is brought to you by Meldon Law.
Coach again, not play. He won't play,
Well,
Um,
right.
yeah, no, I'll never say never was that old quote from the FSU Florida football series of 60 years ago. Never say never. But I think he would like to realize he realizes it's better off. Look, how could the guy? I mean, I said, Urban, I'm an old man, but if you ever coach again, I'll punch you in the face. Okay. Because look at what he's got going for him. He's got everything you ever know. I mean, I know he misses the game, but his stress levels are gone now. He's good at what he does on Fox. They love him. He's making lots of money. He's successful. I think Irvin ought to bask in the glow of his career. And by the way, he needs to be in the Ring of Honor. That's for sure. I don't care. Is that what we call it? Ring of Honor? I get it mixed up. But he needs to be in the
Yeah,
ring.
he's the only eligible man to go into the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and some people hold things against him. Well, that's fine. It's not about. I mean, look, you tell me any other coach besides Steve Spurrier who's been a better coach at Florida. Nobody, not even close. 2 national championships. So, yeah, I don't think the short answer is no. I don't think he'll coach again.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of people texting here. Tebow threw 2 jump passes for touchdowns, one as a true freshman and one later in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So you were correct there. For some reason, I thought it was later in his career, both of them, but I was wrong. Buddy, we have a text here. I got to pull it up.
While you're doing that, can I say congratulations to Paul and Clayton and Condon for being all SEC in basketball? I mean, that's pretty
absolutely.
Darn cool. But that basketball team has been quite the story. It was a heartbreaker to see them lose the way they lost the other night. And last night when I talked about it, you was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's one game." It does matter when a guy gets away with something like Stackhouse did, running on the court to stop the clock when there were no timeouts, so I could see what the inbounds play was. And Todd Golden couldn't stop it because he had no timeouts. What did they do? They kept him from scoring and lost the ball game. That was one. I want to get into the refereeing, okay? Because you know and I know that phantom call was a joke. I don't do referees. But coaches, and they let him get away with that. That was a referee issue. I've never seen that before. I've never seen there where a coach stops play on an occurrence in a situation like that, taking away the right of the other coach to be able to call timeout and reset his play. I thought it was really, really bad, and something I predict he'll get fined for it.
Buddy, you ever seen a brawl in a women's basketball game?
You know what? That must have been something. Wow.
And a dude came out of the stands. He got arrested. He came out of the stands, jumped over the scorer's table. I don't know if it was somebody's dad or what, but
somebody tried to say it was her brother, but later somebody said no. Lauren Meadows was there at the game. I think he said he thought it was one of the players' brother. I don't know. But like Franz Beard said last night, we're not talking just a bunch of little teeny-weeny women there. You're talking about mixing it up with a bunch of tight ends. I mean, these girls are huge players.
Let me tell you something, buddy. I'll tell you a quick story because I was a big basketball player in high school, loved basketball. Even when I was in college, I would play in the intramural leagues, and then I'd go over to the O'Connell Center because back in those days, that's where the men's and women's basketball teams practiced in those little side areas of the O'Connell Center.
Yeah.
And I would go over there, we'd be in the dining hall and some of the girls would be like, "Hey, if you want to come shoot with us, come shoot with us." I'd go over there and I started playing like pickup basketball sometimes with the women's team. Holy crap. Physicality was, I was like, I had enough of this. I'm staying out by 3-point line. Yeah. They were beating the hell out of me. I was only about 170 pounds, but they were killing me.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And like Fran said last night, his comment was, you wouldn't want to be in a bar fight with her. Anyway, I didn't see it. You know who told me about it? Was your boss, your guy, your friend, your coach, Steve Spurrier, told me he saw it. He was really concerned about the fact that all the players got knocked out, and he said just the 2 that were involved in it should have been suspended, the others should not. But I guess referees think they have to throw out about half the crowd to get the people's attention. But I did not see it, but apparently pretty violent, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Carrie, thank you for the information here on Facebook Live. She says that Tebow's first jump pass was the LSU game at home in 06 to Tate Casey, and then to David Nelson in the national title game. Yeah, they threw it 2 times. So thanks for that information.
Yeah.
This day in sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. 2023, buddy, the PGA Players Championship, TPC Sawgrass. Scotty Scheffler becomes the third golfer to hold the Masters and Players titles at the same time. And then we had a text here from Josh in Mississippi. He said, "Who would I love to play in a foursome?" I'd have to think about that, but two guys on the PGA Tour that I would love to play with would be Tom Kim, Joo Young Kim. His caddy is Paul Tesori, former Gator golfer. He's 21 years old. Just hilarious. People love him. I'd love to play with him. And then Scotty Scheffler. Buddy, do you know that the people, the so-called golf experts say Scotty Scheffler is the best ball striker to ever play professional golf?
No, I got to take a little issue with that, but he's a great player.
His stats have proven it. His ball striking is unbelievable.
Yeah, he moves that foot around and still does it.
Yeah,
slides that foot around.
Don't watch him. Don't watch him. You have no chance of hitting the ball if you do.
Like Jim Furyk's swing. It's like trying to model your swing after Jim Furyk in that regard. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, and I really like him. By the way, I would substitute Kim. I know you like. I'd put Jordan Spieth in there. I'd like to play with him.
You've always, Tim.
I've always loved.
But
Jordan
yep, for sure. All right, so buddy, we start the SEC tournament starts tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Gators will play Thursday in a I think it's 8:30, around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday night. The winner of Georgia, Missouri. If we were to win that, we'd play Alabama. I love our bracket right now.
Yeah, you said that last night. You think they'll beat Alabama again? You said.
I just think we're a better basketball team than Alabama, quite honestly.
Well, sometimes that doesn't work out that way, though. The best teams don't win. But I got to give it up for Todd Golden. I mean, look, he's amazing. All the numbers, but what he's done, it's transitioned that program. And he's an example of a guy who used what he had. I wish the football coaches had been as quick to go to the portal as he did. And the talent he found. I mean, those guys are terrific. Matt Condon, the whole portal thing with his guards, the two guards. I mean, he's got two of the best. He could have, in terms of pairs of guards, top five as a pair of guards. I don't know. Seems like they're awfully good. They're both all SEC. And I think he's done a great job with the portal. And I think he's a smart coach. And he's going to be maybe a great coach. Brand said the other night he thought he might be right there at Billy Donovan. I got to wait on that, but I get what he's saying. And it's going to be an interesting tournament this weekend. Although, in a way, Shane, it'd be better off to lose and get out of there.
Well, yes and no, but I want them to match up with Alabama and wear Alabama out. So we'll see. Got to play. Got to win the game against Missouri and them first. Hey, buddy, are you there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I thought I lost you there for a second.
No, I'm here.
We had a text here on the Titan our text line from Jim. He says, buddy, he wanted your thoughts. I'm going to give my picks tomorrow, but who you think wins the TPC tournament?
I really haven't studied it that closely. I really haven't. I'm not ready to make that pick just yet. And honestly, really, with the LIV thing, the whole golf scene is kind of messed up for me right now. I'm thinking about it this morning about even the Masters, whatever. This has always been one of my favorite times of the year. I'm a big golf fan, as you know, Shane. I worked in the game for many years, and I love that run from the Florida Shore to Augusta. And it's just one of my favorite times of the year. And I knew a lot about all the players, Shane, and this is not a bad thing. There's guys out there competing at a high level in the top 10 I've never heard of. Now, this is one thing about the Masters and about the players. They thin out the crowd and the great ones play. I mean, you can't not like Scheffler. I mean, you got to like him, obviously. I'm going to stick with Spieth. I think he's going to come back and do something. We'll see. We'll see what happens to those LIV guys. I just don't know I don't see them enough.
Yeah, well, it's there's some really good talent, good young talent on the PGA.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's another Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods out there. I don't know, but it's really hard to get a focus. It'll be a good time to start figuring out who the real players are. I mean, John Rahm to me was the best player in the world, and now he went away. Now he's coming back. So, there's a lot of guys that when there's so many young talented guys that might be ahead of them. I don't know, Shane. The Players Championship usually weeds those guys out, though.
Facebook Live brought to you by Metal Law. Andy says, "What are our thoughts on Tommy Townsend signing with the Texans?"
Didn't know that happened.
Good for him.
When did that happen?
Yeah, good. I guess last night. Free agency started yesterday.
Yeah.
Here's the only downfall. I said Tommy Townsend. He's a tremendous punter. There's no question about that. But hell, he hit the lottery going to the Chiefs. He's been to 2 or 3. He's won 2. Maybe he's been to 3 Super Bowls. I can't remember how many. But good gracious, I mean, anytime you can play with Patrick Mahomes, you're going to go to a bunch of Super Bowls.
Really?
Now, I don't know how many Super Bowls he's going to go to. I think C.J. Stroud's outstanding, and I like what Houston's doing. But it was probably a money deal. So congratulations to Tommy. I don't know what his contract was, but good for him.
Shane, do you think that Kansas City can sustain now? Do you think they can?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. They have Andy Reid, and they have the best quarterback I've ever seen play the game.
Pretty good tight end, too, by the way.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, I definitely believe they'll continue. I mean, he's been in the league 6 years. He's been to the Super Bowl, 4 of those 6? It's nuts. Absolutely nuts what they've done. Daniel says the live players won't be at the players tournament. That is correct, but there will be 12. Asa says 12 live players are in the Masters.
By the way, not to change the subject, I just saw Graham Hall's tweet. I didn't realize this. He said, despite beating Alabama by 18 on the senior night, the Gators remain unranked after losing at Vanderbilt. Unranked.
Yeah, but the rankings don't mean anything.
Well, it's just unusual to have a win like that, a huge win against Alabama, and not even make the top 25. And that's what losing to Vanderbilt will do for you.
Yeah, I guess so. But, look, our odds, somebody sent it to me last night. I wrote it down. I meant to screenshot it, but I left it at my house. Our odds, this is to win the national title, which is kind of far-fetched. It's better than South Carolina. It's about equal with Alabama, I believe. Maybe, but there's only a few teams in the SEC. Obviously, Tennessee, Kentucky, Auburn, which I don't think Auburn has a chance to win the national title. But Tennessee, Kentucky do, in my opinion. But Florida's right up there.
But Shane, they were ranked already. They were already ranked now, and then now they dropped out of the top 25. It does matter. I mean, the seeds won't matter.
But let me ask you,
they'll still be a 6 seed, I would imagine.
Well, 6 or 7 is what I'm guessing. But just being ranked, it doesn't mean anything in basketball is my point.
Yeah.
In football, it does, because you have to be in the rankings to get into the 12-team playoff now.
Yes, it does.
You have to be one of the top 12.
Right.
But in basketball, it really doesn't, because there's going to be a lot of teams, a lot of these mid-majors. Look out for the James Madisons and the Sanfords. These are outstanding basketball teams.
I know.
I hope we don't match up with any of those early.
Yeah, really. Hey, did you see that Condon was also SEC all-freshman team? That guy is a bar.
Yes.
Last guy to do it, Patrick Young. But, Condon is here's what I love about this guy. He's not only a baller who's scrapping, on the offensive glass, he's amazing. He can shoot the ball. He's got touch, and he can handle the ball. So many times, how many times do we hear in basketball, guys get low passes, big guys, they can't dig them out. This guy can take a ball, go put it back up. He got a shooting touch. He plays tenacious defense. This guy's going to be a great one.
Yeah, for sure. So congratulations to Condon, freshman All-American. All SEC, first team All SEC. If you missed it, Zion Poland, and then Walter Clayton Jr. was second team All SEC. So congratulations to those guys. Well deserved, no question about it. Our backcourt is as good as we've ever had here. Some people I talked to over the weekend think it's the best backcourt that the Gators have ever had.
I have to think about that, but certainly you'll be right up there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is no question about it. Joseph mentioned Kirk Cousins to Atlanta could be huge. I think Kirk's a
180
really
million.
good quarterback.
Oh.
Awesome, great guy, tremendous player. That was a huge pickup for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, buddy, who you got on your program tonight?
Well, we're going to take delayed on a couple of things on our regulars tonight, and I'm thinking about moving the head ball coach if he'll do it till tonight. He was supposed to be on tomorrow night. I talk about his award. Lauren Meadows will be joining us, and you never see perhaps a few other little items that we'll dig up for you tonight on the program. Join us right here in our new flowered wallpaper studio on the Buddy Martin Show tonight. We'll come up with something.
Real quick, let everybody know you wrote an article on DJ Lagway. How do they read it?
Well, you have to be a member of Gator, but I'm sorry. I know you hate paid, but it's what we do. I sent a copy out to a couple of friends, and they passed it around. But if you really think it's that important, you can't afford to, whatever it is, to join, to email me, and I'll send it to you, okay? And it's a column about what I think of my first look at DJ Lagway and I get a uniform. And by the way, it's pretty bodacious and probably ridiculous, but it's what I believe. Okay. So if you can't get a hold of it, if you're not a member, join Gator Bay. It's not that expensive. If you want to do that, then email me and I'll send you a copy of it. Okay. How's that?
Yep. Before we get you out of here, Fred says Maxwell and Moten, Green and Humphrey, talking about the backcourts. I agree. Those are tremendous. But I'd put these two up there with both.
Yeah, I would too. I would put them up with them for sure, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Zion Pullen has broken about every record there is, from turnover ratio to assist, things of that nature. So,
Clayton's
have a great.
Clayton's just needs to be a little more consistent in his shooting. That's the thing. He's a great player, but if he never knock that three down consistently, Pullen's solid. He's really something special.
Yeah, I love them both. So, all right, buddy, good stuff as always. We'll talk to you
Shane.
next week, my man.
Take care, my friend.
All right, that's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan More Hotline. Take a quick time out. Been watching PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA, put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, watch. Radware, your local provider of promotional products, uniforms, and apparel. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
All right, welcome back to PodUp with Matthews in the morning. This is producer Zach. We're going to end things with a couple of interviews. Shane sat down with the Townsend brothers. He also sat down with head coach Steve Spurrier. We're going to get to those interviews shortly. First, we're going to start off with him sitting down with three of his Gator teammates, Travis McGriff, Rydell Anthony, and Cooper Carlisle. You're listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning, brought to you by Melton Law.
Welcome back. Here we're at the Steve Spurrier First Year Coach of the Award. It's hard to say, but Coach Spurrier's award. We have the greatest Gator to ever come out of Macomb, Mississippi, right here. Cooper Carlisle.
Absolutely.
Travis McGriff, all-time single-season yardage record holder. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
How many records you got, my man? Rydell Anthony.
Doesn't matter.
I think he's got a spring award named after him.
Oh,
don't you?
Oh, you do? Did Billy Napier name a wide receiver?
It's when
award
you're
after
getting
you?
old, Frick.
Yeah, but is that every year or just a 1 year thing?
Well, I don't know.
every
We'll
year.
find out if they
Yeah, well, at least I had it for a
re-up
year.
that this spring. Okay.
I had it for a year.
All right, real quick, we're going to have you guys tell a quick Coach Spurrier story. This is all about
Hold on,
Coach
before
Spurrier.
we go forward, you got to compliment on the jacket.
I do like your jacket.
Everyone else is.
I think most of the people that are
It's
watching this,
creamsicle.
Yeah, well, wait a minute.
Most
The
of
Wait a
first
minute.
thing they going to say is
worldwide
the
going to be like,
Don't-
you got a Tennessee jacket on.
no.
But the shoes match
Don't
the
do that.
jacket.
Don't
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yes.
that.
Coordinate.
For
Do
sure.
not do that.
Mushroom belt.
All right,
That's
do you
a
want to
little
go?
much.
You want to tell the Coach Spurrier story
That's a
first,
little
or have
much.
somebody else?
Someone else.
All right, Coop, you're first.
Y'all got me a
man,
little
I gotta
distracted.
think.
The greatest
sprung
Gator from
this-
Macomb, Mississippi.
Yep, yeah, not a lot of competition.
I don't like competition.
So these are tough. One that I do love is when Coach Spurrier never liked bad weather, and we didn't have an indoor facility back in the day. So if we got a little bit of bad weather, we could plan to
Lightning
pretend there was lightning in the background. And then,
What would people do?
like on the count of three, everyone would say,
Yeah.
"Whoa!"
Remember
And-
Nabavi and Dean? They would coordinate it in the back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so we would coordinate it, or somebody
I
in the
got
back
two
that was
stories, yeah.
not playing at the time would coordinate it, and he'd look around and be like, y'all see lightning? And he'd blow the whistle and we'd take it in.
Yeah. So speaking of Nabavi, you got to tell the Nabavi story.
I got the best. I had the best.
You know the one I'm
too.
talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
Just-
got one too?
Bad guys?
Who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys?
Oh, them two have some
You'll
great
remember this.
stories.
So you guys know how you would do in the film room. We're watching practice, and David Nabavi is running a route, and he sort of starts rewinding it over and over.
Right.
And he talks to himself, and he's like, Nabavi, Nabavi, Nabavi. He says it like what felt like 30 times.
Right.
And then he goes, Nabavi, what are you, Iran, Iraq, Palestine? Who's bad guys over there? I don't even remember what Nabavi said.
You couldn't get away with that today.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
That would be on somebody's phone, and
Oh.
you'd be hearing from
And
the
then we just told that story to the entire world.
Yes, we did. Millions of
I'm
people.
glad
Franklin-
you said it. Not
Franklin,
I just
what's your
But
what's your
back
story?
in the Bobby them, what they would do in practice, they would literally walk backwards.
They would do the reverse.
So they'll sit down, get up,
That's right.
and go backwards and put their helmet on. So when we rewind the video, it looked like it was going in.
So they were
It
out
was
of
like
the,
the
they were
video.
out
They
of the,
were literally
They would
like,
do
no,
the routes,
dude.
too.
yeah, and
Like they'll stand there.
They run the
And they'll
slant
go backwards. So we watching the film. And Ghost Spurrier them never really paid attention to it. But it look like they going forward, but they'll be going backwards, put the helmet on, then back up, then stand. And we'll be back there killing ourselves laughing. Ghost Spurrier like, what's so funny? It was a good route. Like nothing coach. But those two are the best.
They were
So you two guys got to talk about Dwayne Dixon, who was the wide receiver coach here.
who I saw 2 days ago.
Was Coach Dixon, I'm much older than you guys, a few years older, but Coach Dixon, was he always sleeping in the meetings or not?
Not when he was dancing.
I used to tell Coach Spurrier, used to tell Coach Dixon, if you're going to sleep, you need to stand up. You need to
is
stand up in the
true.
meetings.
But he would dance to stay awake, and it was dun, Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Which was also in stretch lines.
In stretch
Remember that?
lines. You remember that? Cool. We would go
Vaguely.
dunk,
Remember that? And he'd like
dunk,
grab the leg.
dunk,
And,
dunk.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Jump.
stretch line.
Jump
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Jump
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
He'd do the jump on it.
Yeah.
So to
Yes,
keep
yes.
him awake, he'll be standing back and we'll start to dunk. And he'll go to doing it in the middle of the mean. He'll go to dancing, then come through the line and doing all that stuff. But nah, Coach Dixon was the best, man.
He
I
was.
mean,
He
for
was.
as coaching, he related pretty much to every player.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with Coach Dixon, you just want to coach.
Yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all. We're here celebrating the Steve Spurrier First of the Year Coaches Award. If you want a koozie, call Radware.
Why are you
Radware.
touching my
Radware.
cup
Oh, that's
so
your cup.
much?
My bad. I thought that was my
Why's
cup.
he
I'm
touching
throwing
that?
that away. I'm getting.
I'll get you mine back here. That'll do it for these guys.
You don't
Travis
have a story?
McGriff.
No story for you?
Oh yeah.
Right. How you
I
gonna
mean,
have us
come on.
on?
You,
You
you
don't
have,
bring up
you
a
have
story.
more than anybody.
Yeah, especially with you being a quarterback. It had to be a situation
See,
when
it's
you
not
in the
that
middle
easy.
of a game.
Well, I've told so many stories I on my show. I don't know if I can remember
what,
any.
What about the underwear one?
I can't tell the underwear on TV, or TV or whatever.
It's a podcast, man.
Yeah, I guess I could, right?
Yeah, you can do it.
So this
Shay do
this
it.
is like my second year,
Yeah.
second or third year, maybe my second year, all season after I come home from Chicago. Coach Spurrier calls. It's in July. Shane, come over to the beach, play some golf. So all right, Coach. So I drive over there. You know, it's 100 degrees. We're playing Marsh Creek. We play golf. He's like, just go, come to supper with me and Jerry tonight. Coach, I ain't got to change clothes. I just come back to the condo, take a shower. I'll take care of you. So I go take a shower. He knocks on the door. He opens it. He goes, here you go. And he goes, it's like 100% cotton, Southwest Bradenton Gator Club polo, navy blue. Remember the navy blue tennis shorts?
Yeah,
They used to
yeah.
like buckle. I put that on. Then he knocks back on the door. He's like, just turn your boxers inside out. That's what I usually do. But only him, right?
Oh my goodness!
All right, so that'll do it with this crew. These are your national champs right here. Y'all were all on the national championship team, right?
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah. Lucky guys. Travis McGriff, Reedale Anthony, and Cooper Carlisle.
All right, welcome back real quick to the Crime Prevention Security Systems Studios. We're going to jump to our next interview with Tommy and Johnny Townson, former Gator punters. You're listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning, brought to you by Meldon Law.
Welcome back. We're here at the Spurrier Awards show, or whatever it's called. I can't ever remember. It's the first year Coaches Award deal. We got the Townsend boys here, Johnny and Tommy. How you boys doing?
Doing great. Yeah,
How
excited
about
to be back
How about
again.
your brother here? He hit the damn lottery playing with Patrick Mahomes.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. If you would have asked me coming out, if you would have said Kansas City's a team that you're going to go to, I would have said you're crazy. I didn't think there was going to be any chance, but shoot, here we are 4 years later and 2 rings later.
Put that ring up close to the TV.
Oh, yeah.
That's last year's ring. What do you think
Let's
this
see,
year's
here we go.
ring is going to look like?
Shoot, I don't know. I've been saying, even last year I was saying that they should do a 2-finger ring and get a size for 2 fingers and have just a big old deal there because, every year it seems like the team's trying to outdo the last one. So yeah, hopefully they keep it going and, we get another nice ring.
You've been very fortunate. I'm on record. I said this about 2 or 3 years ago that I think Mahomes will surpass Brady as the all-time great because I think he's going to get to more Super Bowls. I think he's going to win more. What kind of teammate is he?
Oh my gosh, he's an incredible teammate. I mean, he's one of the guys that day one when I got in the locker room that was friendly and didn't treat me like different from any other player because you know how it is. Like at the end of the day, we're punters, so sometimes we can get a little mixed treatment. But I mean, shoot, everybody in that locker room is amazing. Him, Trav, Chris Jones. Related with Chris a lot 'cause he was with Mullen at Mississippi State.
Right.
So, it's just an incredible locker room, and the culture there is just incredible.
Johnny, let everybody know what you're doing now. You're still really involved with your foundation, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. And we're involved in Gators football a lot, too. So once I graduated from University of Florida, and this was before NIL, I tried to tie my stats to a fundraise for pediatric oncology at UF Health. NCAA shot it down. They said no matter what you're doing, you can't use your likeness and leverage it to raise money for any cause. So I signed my eligibility away and launched the Johnny Townson Foundation. So we're going into year 6, fundraising for pediatric oncology right here at UF Health, the organization that gave myself my identity and playing for the Gators. And we're hosting the former players again this year at the spring game tailgate, which is our big kind of annual fundraiser. So we got the whole north lawn of Ben Hill rented out with open bars, all you could eat barbecue, silent auction. You might want to bid on a few items if you come out. And we had 120 former players last year.
That's awesome. Let people know that's open to the public, correct?
It sure is. It sure is. Yeah, we're going to be sharing tons of information on JohnnyTownsendFoundation.com and on Instagram and Facebook under Johnny Townsend Foundation. It's open to the public. We had like 600 people come out last year and support UF Health, mingle with Gator greats, and all for a great cause. So.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I got to ask you about the whole Taylor Swift nonsense. What was that like with the team?
It's been crazy, and like when it first came out, like everyone was trying to figure out what was going on, but yeah, it's kind of funny. I think a lot of the guys just kind of see her as Trav's girlfriend. Nobody treats her like a superstar, but she is. But she's such a cool person. She's a genuine person, and just really sharp, intelligent, and I tell Trav all the time, I was like, man, you got to marry that girl. She's awesome. Y'all are perfect for each other. But yeah, all the madness around is pretty crazy. But yeah.
Back to your foundation, roughly how much money have y'all raised over the years?
Well, so last year we raised just shy of $50,000 at the spring game tailgate, and that's kind of been on par with what we've raised over year over year, because we've kind of just wanted to figure out what's worked, and this event stuck in particular. We have some great community involvement, and we're building a great charitable community around all the amazing organizations that UF has. So aside from just Gator football, we got involvement from Greek Life, from UF Health, and all the various leadership organizations on campus. And but what's cool about the fundraise is that 100% of every dollar we raise goes directly to UF Health. So we put together specific plans for tangible plans for what we want the money to go towards, and we're going to launch another facility renovation at the Pediatric Oncology Clinic this summer. So
that's good stuff, man.
And it's been a lot of fun. We're glorified party planners.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
No doubt about it. Well, we got the Townson brothers here, 2 of the greatest to ever punt for the University of Florida. We appreciate their time. You guys come to this Spurrier event every year. Y'all didn't play for Coach Spurrier, but how well do y'all know him? He's a character now.
So I think the first time we met Coach Spurrier was when we were in high school, and Johnny went on a visit to South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you went there.
That's
right.
That's where we first met Coach Spurrier and his wife, and yeah, they've been incredible. And I tell people stories all the time when Coach Spurrier would come back and he'd come and talk to the team, and Coach would go off on he'd come in with a goal and an idea of what the speech is supposed to be about, but deviate a little bit. Next thing you know, he's talking about how, yeah, back in 1994 was the fourth quarter with 3.5 minutes left, and so-and-so was out wide and ran this route, and we threw it to him and scored. It's crazy. His memory is so sharp when it comes to remembering these plays, and that's something I'll always remember about him.
Yep, for sure. All right, before we let you guys go, once again, let them know where they can check all the information out for your foundation.
Definitely, yeah. It's at JohnnyTownsendFoundation.com and also Johnny Townsend Foundation on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be dropping save the dates. It's April 13th in conjunction with the UF Spring Game on a Saturday afternoon in the swamp. We got the whole north lawn tented off. Got Gator greats, all for a great cause. Hope to see you guys there.
Yep, good stuff as always. Appreciate y'all joining us.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that'll do it.
Okay, welcome back to the Crom Fitch Security System Studios. We're going to go next to our interview between Shane and the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier. You're listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning.
We're here with the head ball coach, Coach Steve Spurrier, here, an award being that's named after him. It's hard to say, Coach. The first year. Say that award? Can you do it? The Steve Spurrier First Year Coach of the Year Award.
It's the Coach First Year to School Award. In other words, you're only eligible if you're in your first year. Mm-hmm. So we've had some pretty good winners. We had Josh Heupel and Shane Beamer.
Yep.
And then last year, Sonny Dykes from TCU was here. And this year, Jamie Chadwell took liberty to a 13-1 record. Hugh Freeze, who got the big job at Auburn, had gone 8-5 the last 2 years. So he exceeded greatly what Hugh was doing there. But anyway, he's the winner of that.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you about college football nowadays. You know, with the NIL, it's a mess. You know, it was hard enough to recruit kids to come to campus, but now coaches have to continually keep recruiting these kids that are on their roster to keep them in school. Do you think that's one of the reasons why I think it was like 28 or 29 college coaches moved to the NFL this year?
Well, it's certainly not what it used to be, and it's not a fun thing to do. And we need to have some kind of rules. I think they're proposing, whoever they are, the NCAA or whoever, that Power 5 schools have a budget. All right, here's how much money you can give your players. And if you want to give all of it to the quarterback and none to the offensive and defensive linemen, you're going to have a lot of friction on the team, so you better spread it out. So hopefully that's what I was trying to do way back in 2013 and 14. Gosh, that's only 10 years ago. Let the players make 10, 20,000, because we could have done that, but they said, no, that'll never happen. And now we've got just a real mess. But still, those schools that have been giving out the big money, Miami, Texas A&M, they've not won big.
Right.
Same teams are winning,
Yep.
seems like.
I wanted to talk to you, you know, the schedule, Florida's football schedule this year. Some people say it's the hardest in the history of college football. People complaining about it, but then people want to complain when the so-called, you know, Charleston Southerns of the world come to the Swamp. The season ticket holders are upset about that. I try to tell people that watch this program, as a competitor, you want to play good teams. Embrace it and get ready to play. And we used to set goals, you know, Florida needs to set a goal to win the SEC. Just because they've had 2 losing records doesn't mean they can't do it this year, right?
Yeah, the expectations around here are not real high. You know, nobody's talking about trying to win the SEC. But maybe a winning record, win a bowl game. I think that would be a positive year, and then go from there. But still, I mean, we've got we're in the NIL business. We're giving money. We got the number 1 quarterback in the country, I think, Lagway. So we'll see what happens. But we're trying to play. Billy Napier's trying, but it hadn't gone too well yet.
Yeah, the Gators, obviously, you and Jerry love to go to sporting events on campus. You know, I'll be playing golf, and somebody say, I saw Coach at the women's basketball game. You know, I don't think there's a lot of coaches around college sports that were really involved in all the different sports on campus as you were when you were here.
Back here, well, I enjoy all the sports and watching people, boys and girls, compete. And certainly our gymnastic girls are wonderful to watch and compete. And then our swimmers last night.
Yeah.
We won the SEC Swimming and Diving Championship. Our women have won 2 years in a row, and the men have won 12 years in a row. So we are a dynasty in swimming. So we just got to get football and basketball's competitive this year.
Very
I
good.
think Todd Golden's done a heck of a job. But a lot of our sports are really doing well, and we need to be proud of them. Yeah.
Yep. Last thing, your 2 boys, Bubba and Scotty, are both coaching. How's Tulsa going to be this year? Do you know?
You know, Tulsa had a really good recruiting class. They're not into giving the money out. They're into recruiting, and they signed 28, 29 guys and so forth. And of the non-Power 5 schools, I think they were like second to whoever. So they don't play – they may play 1 Power 5 school, so they play teams they should be able to compete with. And they feel pretty good about the season coming up, so we'll wait and see how they do.
Yeah, we're here at Coach Spurrier's restaurant. Let everybody know, if they've never been to this restaurant, you're usually here a couple of nights a week. If they come through town, do you have a set schedule when you're here? And if you do come, what does Coach Spurrier, what's your favorite item on the menu?
Oh, all of them are really good. I usually eat the shrimp or the fish, one of the fish plates and so forth. But, yeah, there's a orange and blue shrimp. We put sort of the Gator names on everything. So anyway, that's something I order a lot. But everything's very good, and that's why people come back. They always say, Coach, the food's really good at your place, and atmosphere and so forth. And it's a pretty big place. Freddie Weeby, who put the restaurant together, and our managers are here all the time. So we got good leadership, and the people that work here You got to have your ball players and the waiters and the servers and the cooks and all that. Those are our team. So we've got it going pretty well right now, and we got to keep going.
Yep.
Keep going.
Well, we appreciate your time, Coach.
All
Head
right.
ball coach, Coach Steve Spurrier, the greatest Gator of all time.
No.
All right, that'll do it for today's episode. You've been listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention and Security System Studios, brought to you by Meldon Law. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.